Hey guys, it's me, Stuart from Stuart Scale Models, and I just want to talk to you about a build I've been working on in the last couple of days. The principal reason I've decided to go on to this build was because, as you well know, on Tuesday I had intended to start back on the AT-ACT whilst I was waiting for a replacement donor kit of the Gepards, and cannibalise the turret off of that to get my current Gepard finished. And also I was awaiting aftermarket for my entry into the Pacific Theatre group build, which coincidentally is hosted on the Starring Syndicate, so go over and check that out. And so I thought, right, I'll get onto the AT-ACT as me in between project. Only to find I was slightly stumped because the actual cargo hold on the vehicle is a sort of a desert yellow when I refer to the book I've got on Rogue One. So I thought, right, I'll do that and then I'll clear coat it and then mask it over and get the base coat down on it and get ahead on that. Unfortunately, I was only to find that the paint I wanted to use on the cargo hold I'd run short of, so I thought, I'm stumped yet again. So I left it for the remainder of the Tuesday, and then I was laid low Wednesday morning with a rather nasty stomach bug, which laid me off of work. And I thought to myself, well, rather than sit around moping, feeling awful, I needed something to keep my mind occupied. So, whilst I had the time on my hands, so I thought, right, I saw that Mike Cohn was actually doing a build on the Snowspeeder, an old AMT kit that he had in stash. And that sort of made me thinking. I thought, well, I fancy doing something in between that whilst I can't get any of my current projects done. So I thought to myself, well, I'll have a look through my Bandai Star Wars stash, which I've built up over the last couple of years. And there's one specific figure which was similar to another one I'd done last November, I think, or was it around about December during the Christmas period, which was the First Order Stormtrooper off of The Force Awakens. So I thought I need to do another character from it. And I kept looking over the last few months, and he kept looking at me, and I kept looking at it, and he kept looking at me, and I kept looking at it, and he was looking at me as if to say, well, come on then, build us. And I've had a few misgivings because I know Rebels at Cloud 9, I think it was him, mentioned in a video, I think some months ago, that he was rather concerned about the fact that there was a join on the actual helmet. So, having thought about it, I thought, well, I'm going to have a crack at this kit. So the one I decided upon was this one, Captain Phasma, who's the general in the film. It's basically like a stormtrooper, but all chrome. Now that had quite an attraction to me, so I thought, yeah, let's have a crack at it. And the good thing about this kit is that when you actually look inside at the cape, yes, you got that plastic one, which does look a little bit toy-like, because I know Mike Cohen basically mentioned the fact that he didn't like it because it was too toy-like for the Darth Vader kit. So basically what he did was basically get some watered down PVA, use some tissue and use that, dried it or let it dry, paste it onto the figure, let it dry, and then obviously painted it in Steinerese and then put it back on so it would give it more a natural flow. Well, I think Bandai in this instance with this kit thought of a similar idea to that, because basically what you've got inside that is either a plastic cape if you want to take the easy route, or if you want to make it look more realistic, you've got this little sort of a tissue cape, as it were. Now you bund that all up, tie it under the neck where you've got the little clip on there, and then obviously put the head on it so it gives it more of a natural flow. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to have a crack at this. So that's what I'm going to do with this kit. But I'm not kidding you guys, when I actually got hold of this kit, started on it the night before I was sick, I was really impressed with the fit, particularly on the helmet. Because if you see this here, you've got two either side, you've got two parts of the helmet there, and then there's a sort of a join that goes up here. Now, Rebels at Cloud9 was concerned about the fact that the join would show. Well, I can assure you, buddy, you didn't need to, because I'm going to show you the kit now. And here it is. Because if you look at the helmet, you cannot see a seam line for your life. Because the way they've engineered it is basically, you got this section here, and this section here, and then this mid section here. Now all you do is basically clip them all three together, and that's the first stage of your build. And then obviously you build up the rest of this here. So, buddy, you don't have to worry, my friend. If you had concerns about it, don't be. Because if you look at it, you can't see a seam for your life. It really is that well engineered. So if you want to get hold of one, bud, I definitely recommend you go out and get it. Because it builds, well, so far, I think it builds into a super little kit. Actually, let's just pop it back a bit and then you can see the full length of the kit. Oh, he's just fallen over. That's the trouble with this. You have to get it such a way that it will sit. So there you go. Yeah, and I must admit, I mean, after I'd done the helmet, I just got into the torso, got that done, and it got that well into it that I actually decided on doing the legs and getting this far in one day. Obviously me and Mike were having an online conversation as well, so that really fired me up. So thanks, buddy. Seeing your snow speeder and figure, that really got me going. So this is how far I've actually got so far on the build. Actually, let's just move that around. Let's put that there, and then I'll stop the camera from shaking. There you go. It's up to Bandai's usual high standard of engineering. Now, I thought I was going to have issues with this like I did with the First Order Stormtrooper. So far, so good, guys. It really is that well engineered, and then I've taken my time on this one. I think I may have rushed the New Order Stormtrooper last time. But this time I thought, right, I'm going to take my time, and it's so far so good. It really has come out beautifully. And I love this chrome. It's not alclad or anything like that. It's basically on the actual kit parts themselves, and it looks super. The only thing I would say is when you actually cut them off the sprues, the sprue tree, don't ever, whatever you do, I know you tend to get a little bit of flash or a little bit of plastic, just take it off with your scalpel very, very delicately. Whatever you do, don't try and sand it out with a thinny stick or something like that, because you're going to take the enamel off. Alright, so that's my advice to you guys out there if you haven't built this particular kit. That way you're not going to ruin the chrome. And wherever it's actually built and you've got a little blip, that's going to be hidden. So there you go, they've thought of everything with this kit, they really have. So I've nearly been rambling on for about, what, 10 minutes. The next time you'll see this kit, it's going to be the final reveal, because what I'm going to do over the bank holiday weekend, after I've been to Tiger Day, which, again, I want to thank Steve Mottram for being so kind and generous at doing that. I'll have more time on my hands for Sunday and Monday, and I might possibly get this finished by Monday. So hopefully either Monday or Tuesday I'll have a final reveal video. That's unless things change, because as you know in life things can suddenly change, but we will see. So there you go. I'm not going to ramble on anymore, because obviously I've now got to assemble the arms, then the gun, which I might well put a wash in just to bring out some of the actual detail. And I might even paint it on the actual scope, which you see on the illustration of the box there. So I'm going to pose it in that pose, and once it's mounted in the plinth, it should look fantastic. And I'm really, really impressed with this kit so far. So I would heartily recommend, if you're thinking of getting one of these, do. I don't care if it takes you a month or 2 months to get through. I know they're selling them over in the States now because they managed to get the license to sell them there. So all my cousins over the pond, they're going to be a lot easier to get hold of. But for those of us who aren't living in the States, it's still the same old thing. The only way you're going to source these kits is on eBay. And yeah, they do take up to a month to come through. But, you know, by the time we've got this kit together and built it and had as much fun as I am, it's well worth the wait and well worth the money. Okay, I can't really emphasize it anymore. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now because I've been going over for nearly 10 minutes and it's getting on for 11 now. So I'm going to finish, and the next time you see this kit, it will be fully assembled and it will be the final reveal. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.